Hey, what's up there, RocusFocus family? Don't mind me. I was just listening on my favorite Audible series. I have a few series out there that I really like. Self-help books, if you will. They're my favorite. Why is that, you ask? Well, there's so many people out there that have become successful and have written about their trials and tribulations and everything they've gone through, their failures, how they coped with them, how they suffered through them, and how they overcame them and achieved amazing things. And I just think it's so beneficial to read on that stuff, because then if I'm able to read it and apply those things in my life, I save myself the time and trouble, of the mistakes they've made. I don't have to repeat those mistakes. And that is just a blessing. And I'm super grateful that I'm able to do that. And RocusFocus family, it's been a while since I've put out a video. And there's a legitimate reason for that. I'm grateful to be here today because now I'm growing. Every single day, I can see myself grow. I can point out to you, this is where Rohan is better today than he was yesterday. RoDolla is making the adjustments, and it's awesome. And that's kind of why I'm here today, because I wasn't doing that before. And I wasn't doing that because of undesirable habits. Not one, but not two, but many of them. And I would always go through these thought patterns in my head of, man, if I could just stop doing this, then I could start working towards what really mattered to me. I could really start exploding. And it was never sweet talk, let me tell you that much. It's very cynical, very judgmental, very criticizing. And it was this negative feedback loop that I would just keep on going through. And I read all the articles and all the books on the power of good habits, how to get rid of good habits, Pavlov's theory. I have to find my trigger and do this and do that. Meditate, urge surfing. Urge surfing is pretty great. Have you heard of that? It's just, when you have a habit that you go to and you suddenly have a trigger towards it, it's literally about sitting down and just feeling that feeling. Not judging it, not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, not saying, oh, why am I feeling, why was I born this way? Why am I wired this way? Just sitting there and feeling it. And that takes practice, but when you can do it, you can slowly start to detach yourself from that feeling, that craving. And that's all good and all, and I could talk to you about a bunch of other little side tricks about, what it takes to break a habit, but those don't really work in the beginning. Nothing really works. It's because, we feel super alienated with these habits. We feel like I'm the only one going through this. No one else has these problems, has this type of bad habit, this addiction, if you will. That sugar addiction. I want my M&Ms. I want my M&Ms. Well, you'll get your M&Ms. But watch this first. Video popped up the other day of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe it was not a video. Maybe it was just him posting a status. But he was like, nobody in this world that's been successful is self-made. Everybody needs help. To get to where you want, you need to learn how to ask for help. And man, of all people to say that, my boy Schwarzenegger, like, come on, bro. I thought it was all him. That's what I assumed. Look at him and what he's made of himself, all the way from the strongest guy in the world to governor to hit movie star. Like, He's done it all. And for him to say that he needed help, the strongest guy needed help, he needed a spot, it got me thinking. It got me thinking when I was in my bed late at night, suffering as to why I was succumbing to my bad habits all the time, and that I needed to man up and myself figure it out. All of this was just made up in my head. And man, I tried all these tricks, as I was telling you before, and then I landed on something that seriously changed my life. And I didn't quit. And that was, I think, the thing I'm most proud of RoDolla for. RoDolla didn't quit. He didn't give up. Because I was reading another article on how to break habits. Or one of my good friends was telling me, dude, you know what is super important to do? Okay, you have bad habits, it's chill. Mark it down every day. I did this. I didn't do this. I did this. And then you'll see over time, that either your progress or your lack thereof, and it'll force you, because you can visually see something, to want to change. But the paper thing, I would get scared. I would get like, oh, what if I don't have that notebook where I mark down my tracking with me? Like, I needed something simpler and all this. And this article talked about it. And this guy was talking about how he tracked his habits through an app. And this app has single-handedly turned my life upside down. I didn't realize that it did until today, until I marked like 45 days clean of this habit, 38 days clean of this habit. And I'm like, Coach.me changed my life. That's right. That's the app's name. I'm not marketing it. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to just provide and share my journey with you guys. So don't get this as like, oh, he's trying to market that app, blah, blah, blah. First of all, Coach.me is free, right? You can join any community. Let's say, example, you bite your nails and you want to get rid of biting your nails. You can literally join a community and you can ask questions, and every day you can mark, today I succeeded in not biting my nails. And it records every time you do it, and it shows you if you've been streaking 11 days, 12 days, and then if you forget to do it, well, your streak breaks, RoDolla slip right there. But the next day, you start again, fresh, boom, bam, here we go. And that's good and all, but when it comes to your really bad habits, what happens, right? We all know what we do. We lie. Not to your mother, not to your best friend, not to your girl, not to your boy. You lie to yourself, which I figured out is the biggest crime and disgrace you can do to yourself. But we have to get over it because we're humans, and that's what we tend to do. We tend to lie to ourselves when things get bad. And when you lie to yourself, you can't keep yourself accountable. You can't be a man and or woman of your word. And that is a prerequisite to be able to grow. You need to be able to say, this is what I want. This is what it's going to take me to do. This is what it's going to take me not to do. And I'm going to sit here right now, put a stake in the ground, and do it. It takes conviction. You heard. So let me cut to the chase. On this app, you can pay $20 a week to hire a coach. And this coach will sit there with you and talk to you on a daily basis. And this isn't just some random person who necessarily has a degree in psychology, therapy, and understanding how to break habits. No, this is someone who has had this bad habit in their life and figured out in a compassionate, healthy way how to get rid of it forever. Not moderation, just never doing it again. Having it be so far away from them that they no longer know what it feels like. to have it, but they remember their experiences of what it took mentally, physically, emotionally to get rid of that habit. And they work you through it. And man, has that changed me. There were great days. I would be like, oh my God, I'm on a 6-day streak. And that's when he would say, hey, good job, but there's ebbs and flows to motivations. You're gonna feel good, but tomorrow you're gonna feel bad. What are you gonna do then? He kept me grounded, kept me humble. And then there were days where I wouldn't respond to him. I wouldn't respond to my coach. I wouldn't check in. I would feel way too guilty because I decided that day that I was not going to think about it. I was not going to be mindful, and I was going to give into my bad habits. And I felt too guilty to let my coach know that this was happening. But the truth is he knew. He knew, because when I was doing well, I was excited about it. I was sharing, I can do this, I'm positive. But on the bad days, I was nowhere to be found. But what this does is, it makes it super apparent of what you're doing. It puts it right in your face. It simply doesn't allow you to lie anymore. Sure, you're avoiding the truth, but it's there. And he was telling me, he was writing to me, where are you, Rohan? I haven't heard from you. What's going on? This tends to happen, I understand. And he wasn't yelling at me, Rohan, why the heck did you do that? Why aren't you responding to me? You're a screw up. I knew you couldn't do it. No, none of that. That's judgment. That's criticism. He showed me compassion. He showed me sympathy, better yet, empathy, because he went through it. And I was committed to this more so because I was providing $20 a week to the service. Had it been free, I might have just thrown it away. But I read a quote once, and you know me, I love quotes. Like I eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? You won't change something until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And through this process of months of talking to him, there were weeks at a time where it was clear. I was sick and tired of this bad habit. I was caving to it all the time. But after it had happened so many times, I was like, dude. And I'm not just talking about one bad habit. It was all these bad, undesirable habits that I had. Like, dude, I'm going to let these run my life? And he would tell me that was embarrassing that I just touched my ear, and we're all going to get over it in 3, 2, 1, over. And it was embarrassing because just for myself that I wasn't growing anymore. I wasn't exploding with, and you know what the thing is I lied just now. I really had no idea what it meant to grow. Or my potential of possible growth, because I was making this much increments, if any. Because most of my mind was occupied, worried about when am I going to indulge in my next undesirable habit. But then it made me realize, if I'm not going to live up to my word, if RoDolla can't do it with conviction, then what's good with this life? Who am I to talk to about RocusFocus if I can't say anything with conviction? So that's when I knew I needed help. And I had been getting help. And that help made me turn things around. And now I'm like 40 days clean, 50 days clean, and I have so much more to go. And there's never a, oh my God, I hit 200 days, now I'm chilling. No, I never relax now. I'm always gonna stay hungry. Because man, I can see myself grow every day. And now, when I'm truly growing, I can't compare myself to anybody else. Because nobody is RoDolla. I am the only RoDolla. That is like the most freeing feeling freaking ever, man. And seriously, you might be curious, like, ooh, what undesirable habit did he have? Was he Was he smoking cigarettes? Was he on the booze? But the thing is, it doesn't really matter. Because the way it was making me feel, this undesirable habit, a completely different undesirable habit can make you feel the same way. And what do I mean by feeling the feeling? Just simply the feeling of you're not growing, you're static. And when you're static, you realize you're not going anywhere. And that's when you truly start to suffer. That's when you start to realize maybe happiness isn't a possibility, which is obviously complete BS. I realized I need a clear, strong mind. And I need to remove all the dependencies and undesirable habits that were occupying it. And RoDolla is definitely on that path now. And listen, there are many ways to get help. You can research right now and find a number to get yourself into a rehab center. And you have to understand that you're not doing this alone. You can reach out to me personally if you need help. But let me tell you right now, Coach.me is a great way to start. You don't have to lie. Everyone on there is super compassionate and knowing that it is a fully proved process to help you get on the right path. And that is RoDolla's message to you today. Yeah. Because whatever we want in life, we get it through that RocusFocus.